Hey guys, it is July 5th. You'll be seeing this probably either later tonight or tomorrow. But I just wanted to log in and touch base with you. Had an okay day on the 3rd, took the 4th off. On the 3rd, we did some alternating Shipt runs. We made a little over $240 on the 3rd. Running Shipt. It was just off the chain. And today we're running some Shipt again in Elma, Michigan. And she's on one right now. Just decided, we're just gonna run longer days, stick to the shops. You can make money on DoorDash, but the mileage is insane. And like I said, I'm gonna kind of put them on pause. I might have it on for a shop every now and then, but I think I'm done running food delivery. They're just screwing us so badly in the back end. 5% is silly, and it's pretty much leveled the playing field. Maybe you can do all right on time. Not sure. Haven't tried that yet. Get really desperate, I might, but I'm not gonna run $6 orders all day in the heat and for pennies. I'm just not gonna do it. Even though I can sit and decline every single order until I get a good one, they're just not there. I mean, you might get a $40, $50, $60 shop every now and then, but you can get those same things on Shipt or Instacart. So we're just gonna starting our days in our small town. If an Instacart takes us out one way to a different market, then we're just going to move to that market and pick up shops where we can. I mean, she's in right now on a shop that's like 30 items. It's going, right here in town. And it's got an estimated $4 tip on it, so $200 subtotal. It'll probably end up paying decent. So that's what we're gonna do. It's what we have to do. I still can't believe that we're getting so wrecked from DoorDash in a time where fuel prices are so high. I mean, I guess I can believe it, but it's crazy. It's self-defeating. It's hard to stay positive when every order you see, through hundreds of orders, mind you, are like $6 and $7. I mean, it's been that way for a lot of dashers, but for me, it hasn't been. When you found a large order and it was recommended at 10 or 15% tip, I mean, you were making $20, $30, $40 a large order run. Now you're making 9 to 15, same distances, same customers, but they're just hitting the recommended button on the customers, and that's not the customer's fault. They're doing what they think is right. I can't fault the customers. They just hit the button. Oh, that's what we're gonna tip the driver, and that's fine. I appreciate all the tips. I appreciate the person that tips $1 or $2 or whatnot if I accept the order. So it's not like I'm being greedy, but ultimately in the end, we're all out here to make money. So yeah, I just thought I'd reach out and touch base with all you guys, and if I come up with something that's working real good, I'll obviously be sure to share it with y'all. So yep, that's my video for the day. That's my check-in for the day. I mean, if anything super good happens, I mean, I'll chime back in on this video and let you know, but right now it's kind of self-defeating, and we're going to try to lean into the shops more. And we both have Instacart, we both have Shipt, so we'll see if those apps pay off. So I'll talk to you on the next one. Oh, I also wanted to jump in and touch base on some of the comments that I've been reading. A lot of people are saying, well, just quit then, or get a real job. The fact of the matter is I'm trying to make X amount of money over the course of my day. Even with the reduced money on DoorDash, it's still higher than working an entry-level job. You can still make, in 10 hours or 8 hours, you can still make 100 to 150 running very little miles. So it's not like I'm not making money out here. I'm not making what I would like to make out here. And when you run this full-time and you run it as a business, you want to make as much money as you possibly can. Now, whether that comes from the customer or that comes from the apps themselves, you want to optimize your time out here because you're essentially trading your time for money. So I am right now trying to figure out how I can make the most money for my time while I'm out here. I'm not losing money. I'm still making a considerable amount of money. I'm still making $800 to $1,000 a week between my apps and the wife's apps and alternating and everything else. We're still making decent money. So it's the complaints are in general of what these apps are doing. And it's not even all the apps, because Shipt still pays decently when you take the right orders. Instacart still pays decently when you take the right orders. Doing catering orders when you can get them still pay very decently. And like I said, still making money out here, but a lot of times I tend to complain and say only the bad things. Well, I ran on the 3rd, I ran a very, very nice catering order. So the fact of the matter is it's just averages. Everything averages out at the end of the week, and a lot of content creators have said, you're one good order away from having a better day. And that is the case. Even in a small market like Alma, you can get a $50 to $70 to $80 Instacart. They happen rarely, but you do get them. And that can change your whole entire day. So a lot of people are saying, why don't you just quit? Why do you do this? Why don't you do that? Why should the customer have to tip you? And those are fair points. I'm happy for any customer that tips. Absolutely. But I hate it when the customers are influenced from what they would usually tip, because DoorDash has changed in the back what the recommendeds are. They're basically training the customer to tip us less, saying we're less than a server. Servers are asking for 20%. Is that high? Yeah, probably. Do they deserve it? Some do. But they're saying a driver at 5% using their own vehicle is a good thing. And I don't think the customer should have to pay us. I wish I could just log in and get paid worth my time. But unfortunately, that's not the way that it works. And delivery driving is a whole different ball game to what servers are doing. People say, I tip after I see what kind of service I'm going to get. Well, the fact of the matter is the service is going to the store for you so you don't have to, and getting it to you in a timely manner. That's the service. That's all that's required of us. And being polite, and doing customer service when we're doing shops or something, that's different. But the food, the service is getting the food for you so you don't have to, and bringing it to you in a timely manner. That's the job. That's what's supposed to happen. So, some people make a valid point. DoorDash is getting more expensive all the time. And they are. But it's not even really a tip when it comes to delivery driving. It's basically a bid. Because the higher you bid, the more chance you're going to get your stuff quicker. And a lot of people don't see it that way. They use the word tip because that's what people are familiar with. But yeah, it's a bid. It's a bid for, does a contractor want to do the job that's presented in front of them? So it's not about service. It's about getting a contractor to bring you your stuff in a timely manner. Same with shops, except for, shops tend to have more service because you're there on behalf of the customer. When we're at a restaurant picking up food, we're there on behalf of the customer, but the merchants don't treat us that way. Some do, some don't. Some were just a bother to them. Sometimes we're dealing with Karen customers. Sometimes there's just so much stuff that can happen. And I like what I do. I love the freedom to do it. I make decent money the majority of the time, even when I'm having a bad day. A bad day is just a day that I'm not making what I would like to be making. And whether you're doing this or whether you're working a W-2, everybody's going to complain about the pay that they get. If you're in a W-2 job, you're complaining about your wage. If you're out here doing gig work, you're complaining about what you're making. That's just human nature. So you're going to see content creators saying the gig economy is dying. No, it's not dying. It's slow. It's transforming. There's other apps. I'm looking into some of the other apps and where they operate. And I know that's very long-winded, but I figure at least this way I can cover every point. You know, I just read comments and a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, I get bad drivers, or my food takes forever. Well, I guarantee you, when you tip higher, it's not going to take nearly as long. You might still get bad drivers, but for the most part, the good drivers are going to take your order. And the good drivers aren't going to take your order if you're tipping $1 or $2, because it's just not worth their time with the fuel prices. And the ones that do take your order, it's going to go through all your platinum drivers, all your full-time and part-time that have the platinum status. It's going to go through them. If it's not good, they're going to decline it until you get to a driver that can't decline it because they're getting close to not being platinum, or it's going to get kicked to a time driver, which I'm not saying time drivers are bad, but a good majority of people on time, they're in no hurry to get you your stuff. In fact, the longer it takes to get your stuff and bring it to you, the more they make. So that's just what it is. So I just wanted to touch base on that as well. If I think of anything else to talk about, I'll share it.